Hello beautiful souls, welcome back or welcome to my channel. I am really excited about this video. You have no idea. I think I was a little bit of jumping up and down when I realized I can actually film this video now. I realized, because I'm reading a lot, that these videos are going to be helpful quite a bit to people who want to read more about this, who want maybe scientific evidence behind it, which is what this book does. If you want to learn more about it, if you want to read books but you don't know which ones to take, which ones are good. Basically, I'm doing book of the month. Now I do read a lot, and I'm gonna pick one book a month that has been, you know, the best that month, maybe out of all of them. If I can't choose, I can make 2 videos, it doesn't matter. But this book actually inspired me to make this video and to start actually this cycle. And on my Instagram, I'm gonna put a book club on, I don't even know what those circles are called. I really need to update my knowledge on the social media stuff. But anyway, I'll keep all of that there. It's gonna be our mini club, and if anyone, any mini book club, yay! So I'm gonna have everything memorized there. Obviously, I'm gonna be talking a lot more in the video. I actually did a little you know, bits to read to you, so you can get a gist of what this book actually is about. This book is not very thick. It's like, let's see, around 300 pages. The font isn't really that big either, so it's much more, you know, mocked up than I actually am going to read to you. And what I do, I actually write down in my notebooks things that I want to memorize, which is, I think, a great thing. If you read a sentence or read a paragraph that really resonates with you and you want to read it more often, as opposed to reading the book every single time and taking that book out, you can have everything in the notebook and have a few books in that notebook that you can, you know, look through pages and remind yourself the things that you want. So that's what I do. You know, if anyone needs the maybe inspiration to start doing that, you can do that also. Now, to start about this book. This book is called Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself and is written by Dr. Joe Dispenza. If you don't know who he is, I'll just give you a quick little life story, just few informations about him. If you haven't watched the film What the Bleep Do We Know, I highly recommend. I think you can find it on YouTube. First part is shorter, second part is longer. I think it's 2 and something hours. I've seen it. I mean, this film has been out, I don't know, 15 years, if not even more. So he's one of the people who talks in that film. Now, he's the guy that has had an accident, has, I don't know if it terms is broken 6 vertebrae in his spine. 4 doctors told him that he should have a surgery. He denied to have it. Basically promised himself, if he is able to heal himself only by using his mind, that he'll spend the rest of his life searching mind and body correlations and, you know, other things. So he's the guy that wrote You Are the Placebo. His books are amazing, by the way, but I think in this one you have a little bit of everything, and you have practice, you have practical bit, which I think is really important if you want to not just gain the knowledge but know how to use something and change your life. So breaking the habit of being yourself. And honestly, by the way, he healed himself. He's walking. Some people said, well, I think all of them said that he'll never be able to walk again. He's doing everything fine. He recovered really fast. He's doing exercises. He actually doesn't have any physical evidence when you watch him that suggests that he had any accident of such sort. So again, the book. I am gonna read a little bits to you. The first thing I did after reading this book is that I read it the second time. So, so the first thing, I'm gonna give you little bits and bobs, explain things, what obviously I believe to be true, and you should too. And if you want to be and create a new version of yourself, a better version of yourself, if you want to eliminate stress in your life, if you want all these, anything that you want that is going to be a better you, and if you want to break the old self and create the new self, this is the book for you. So I am going to read four words. Oh my god, I have to do this. See how you pronounce it? I think it's forward, is it? Foreword. I'll see you later how it's pronounced. But basically it's written by Daniel G. Amen. So sorry. But anyway, he said, your brain is involved in everything you do, including how you think, how you feel, how you act, and how well you get along with other people. It's the organ of personality, character, intelligence, and every decision you make. From my brain imaging work with tens of thousands of patients worldwide over the past 20 years, it is very clear to me that when your brain works right, you work right. And when your brain is troubled, you are much more likely to have trouble in your life. With a healthier brain, you are happier, physically healthier, wealthier, wiser, and just make better decisions, which help you be more successful and live longer. When the brain is not healthy for whatever reason, such as head injury or past emotional trauma, people are sadder, sicker, poorer, less wise, and less successful. I want to tell you that there's science behind this. There's science behind healthy brain, behind the substances chemicals that your brain releases to your body, and you actually have proven scientifically how this works. Which obviously you're gonna have brain scans throughout this book. You're gonna have lots of sketches, lots of information about what has been done, and they use science in a way that I think almost everyone can understand. So you don't need to know any of these terms, because all of them explain in such a way I think that 6-year-old child can understand, which is amazing. So this book is really for everyone. You don't have to be a scientist, you don't have to know terms from physics or biology. Everything is going to be explained to you in this book, so you can understand everything. Next, he says, our respect works, now over 70,000 scans, has taught us many important life lessons about the brain, such as brain injuries can ruin people's lives. Alcohol is not a health food and often shows significant damage on SPECT scans. Now, SPECT scans, it's explained that brain SPECT imaging basically examine the brain's anatomy. No, sorry, doesn't examine the brain's anatomy, but looks how the brain functions. The brain's anatomy is what MRI scans do, CT scans do, but this is how the brain functions, which is really, really amazing that they can do that nowadays. So next, a number of the medications people routinely take. Well, I'm gonna learn English, soon probably. Such as some common anti-anxiety medications are not good for the brain, and this is really something that I didn't know about. Diseases like Alzheimer's actually start in the brain decades before people have any symptoms, which is astonishing. Decades. Now, another thing, I just yesterday discovered this woman, Lisa. Well, anyway, her name is Lisa. I'll try to link down below her name. She researches a lot about Alzheimer's, about how to protect your brain. She's written 2 books. One is the brain food, and the other one is the XX brain, basically how to protect your brain, what foods to take in for better brain, so on and so forth. And those are, I mean, I have a long list of books to read, but that's definitely made my list now. And the interviews that she has, it's really amazing. Practical things that you can start doing straight away, like drinking lots of water. But her family, she had 3 family members dying from Alzheimer's, so she has devoted her life basically to study Alzheimer's, to know how to prevent it earlier, what functions, what, you know, has studies have proved. She's been, you know, doing brain scans of her own as well, following the women's lives through, I don't know, 20, 30, 40 years of age, and see what works, what doesn't work, and so on and so forth. So I'll link maybe a couple of videos that I've seen that she talks about this stuff more. So if you have someone that is dealing with Alzheimer's, or you just want to prevent it in your family, she says that 94% of every single person that gets Alzheimer's, it's not because of genetics, which is amazing. I think she said 2018, that's when they proved that, you know, genetics only influences like 6% of the people. So if there's an enormous, you know, 94% that you can do something about it, it's amazing. So again, maybe someone needs to hear this or know where to go. So if you have someone, or you want to research, or you just want a better brain, know what to take, I think that's the woman for you. So link her videos, her interviews that I've seen, and then you can research a bit more on your own if you want. So moving forward. One of the most exciting lessons I have learned is that people can literally change their brains and change their lives by engaging in regular brain healthy habits, such as correcting negative beliefs and using meditative processes such as those discussed by Dr. Joe Dispenza, which is a person that wrote this book. So I'm gonna skip to the next bit. You have no idea how many of the things I wanted to read to you, but I think then it'll be like 2-hour video, and I don't want that. But I do want to give you some insights, and I will also link his website. I'll link where you can buy this book. Obviously Amazon, that's where I got it, and so on and so forth. So I'll leave all those extra informations down in the description box down below. So the next that I have, I love this. I don't know if anyone loves that book and just marking things and anyway, Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself is a product of one of my passions, a sincere effort to demystify the mystical. So this is Dr. Joe Dispenza's words now. A sincere effort to demystify the mystical so that every person understands that we have within our reach all we need to make significant changes in our lives. This is a time when not only do we want to know, but we want to know how. How do we apply and personalize both emerging scientific concepts and age-old wisdom to succeed at living a more enriched life? When you and I can connect the dots of what science is discovering about the nature of reality, and when we give ourselves permission to apply those principles in our day-to-day existence, then each of us becomes both a mystic and a scientist in our own life. How amazing is that? I just got goosebumps. Oh my God, that's, wow. Wow. Next. I don't think I have to explain that further. That's just amazing. So he's describing a bit more about his chapters, what's going to come in the book. But chapter 3, Overcoming the Body, is really, really important. So Overcoming the Body continues to look at how we unconsciously live by a set of memorized behaviors, thoughts, and emotional reactions, all running like computer programs behind the scenes of our conscious awareness. That's why it is not enough to think positive, because most of who we are might reside subconsciously as negativity in the body. By the end of this book, you will know how to enter into the operating system of the subconscious mind and make permanent changes where those programs exist. This is really important. I'll read another bit that is a bit more, has a bit more details in it. But basically, this is what people don't understand, or they stay there. Let's say if you've seen The Secret, you've just seen tip of the iceberg. Like what I'm reading is tip of the tip of the tip of the tip of the iceberg. But because there's so many things in this, but thinking positive is not enough. Feeling positive, thinking positive, having that coherence in the body and the mind is what's gonna give you the results. So if you just think, like I've actually spoken about this in one of my previous videos. If you just say, yeah, I'm happy, money's coming, yeah, think positive, things are gonna change, things are gonna change, you're not gonna make anything happen. You have to really think positive, you have to be positive, you have to be in that vibrational alignment of what you want. So if you just think, it's not gonna happen. If you say, oh my God, money's coming, oh my God, I can't believe it, oh my God, I'm living in this house, I'm being with this partner, having this health. If you can live it, experience it, that's what's important, to feel it in your body, to visualize it in your head, to not just think positive. So that's really, really important. And he shares a lot of things, tips how to do it, step by step, that everyone can do it. I think almost everyone can do it. It's you choosing basically whether you want it or not. So part 2 concludes with chapter 8, meditation, demystifying the mystical and waves of your future, in which my purpose is to demystify meditation so that you know what you are doing and why. Discussing brainwave technology made simple, I show you how your brain changes electromagnetically when you are focused versus when you are in aroused state due to stressors in your life. You will learn that the true purpose of meditation is to get beyond the analytical mind and enter into the subconscious mind so you can make real and permanent changes. Now, he has step-by-step meditation at the back. He has proven how meditation works over I don't know how many thousands of times, with brain scans, with different people, different age, different backgrounds, different diets, different everything, anything that you can imagine. On his YouTube channel, you have stories, people's stories, what they've overcome. They've cured some, uncurable diseases, and he only showed them how to do it. So this is how to do it. This is you doing the work, which is not that hard. I mean, it's really simple. Now it's up to you to sit down, to tell your body, zip it and stuff like that. But he really goes step by step. First step, you can do it a week, you can do it 10 days, as long as it needs you to master it. Then the step 2, it's really, really easy process. The way he does it, it's really, really simple. For me, it's just exciting. It's just... I meditate for so long. This is a different approach, but I'm really enjoying it, which is, obviously I am going to enjoy it anyway, but what else? Anyway. Oh my God, the weather is so lovely outside after this. I'm going out. So, the quantum you, which is chapter 1 now. Early physicists divided the world into matter and thought, and later matter and energy. Each member of those pairs was considered to be entirely separate from the other, but they are not. Nevertheless, the mind-matter duality shaped our early worldview that reality was essentially predetermined, and that the people could do little to change things through their own actions, let alone their thoughts. So he speaks about how was in the past, what was considered in the past, where did they go wrong, how did they prove that that isn't the case, and so on and so forth. So fast forward to our current understanding that we are part of a vast invisible field of energy which contains all possible realities and responds to our thoughts and our feelings. Just as today's scientists are exploring the relationship between thought and matter, we are eager to do the same in our own lives. And so we ask ourselves, can I use my mind to create my reality? Which is, wow. If so, is that a skill that we can learn and use to become who we want to be and create the life we want to experience? Yes. Obviously, that's what the book is about. Yes. But he explains how they've come to it. Oh my God, such an amazing book. Next, there's so many things in this book. It's just amazing. I'm just hoping you're at least a little bit of as excited as I am to reading it. After I read it, I mean, I want to read it again, obviously, but I'm not. I have to continue to other books. But I think maybe in a few months or a year's time, I'll definitely read it again. It's just... ugh. The most likely reason why you were drawn to this book is that your past efforts to make any lasting change in your life, physical, emotional, or spiritual, have fallen short of the ideal of yourself that you imagined, which is why this book is gonna, if that's what you're struggling with, it's really gonna help a lot if you do what they say in the book. And why those efforts failed has more to do with your beliefs about why your life is the way it is than with anything else, including a perceived lack of will, time, courage, or imagination. So the excuses that you make, that you don't have the time and stuff, and you know, and that you can actually change your beliefs. Oh, so excited, I'm shaking. Always, in order to change, we have to come to a new understanding of self and the world so that we can embrace new knowledge and have new experiences. That is what reading this book will do for you. Your past shortfalls can be traced at their roots to one major oversight. You haven't committed yourself to living by the truth that your thoughts have consequences so great that they create your reality. I'll read that again. So, truth that your thoughts have consequences so great that they create your reality. Think about everything that you're thinking during the day. What are those thoughts? Are there low vibration, high vibration? Are you stressed out more? Are you angry more? Are you sad more? Or are you elevated more? Are you happy more? Are you faithful more? All of that. The fact is that we are all blessed. We all can reap the benefits of our constructive efforts. We don't have to settle for our present reality. We can create a new one whenever we choose to. Whenever we choose to. Choose to. We all have that ability because, for better or worse, our thoughts do influence our lives. I'm sure you've heard that before, but I wonder whether most people really believe this statement on a gut level. That's the main thing. Do you believe it? Or are you stuck with just wishing and not having faith, not moving forwards, and so on and so forth? So, the quantum field responds not to what we want, which is a step 1 if you've seen my video about 5 steps. Not what we want. It responds to who we are being. What vibrations do we have? How emotionally charged are we? What way, what direction, what chemicals we have through our body. He explains again, we have this energy field. Now my experience, how when you're, let's put it this way, when you're sad, when you're angry, when you're tense, you're like this. When you don't have enough self-esteem, you're this. You're, you know, you show it. That's close, that's some more, that's, you know. When you have confidence, your back is straight, your head is up high, you can, you know, you're just going into the world. You can already feel it expanding. You're already going up in a way, which is higher vibrations. You can do this. So many people, they say it's because of the lifestyle. Well, then train yourself not to be in that lifestyle. Do some exercises while you're sitting down. Do some, things. If you can't do something, but you can see how different the energy field can be just by even physical, moving differently, feeling differently. That's what it's all about. That's why they say there's no path to happiness. You have to be happy. You don't become happy. You be happy. You choose to be happy. And then you just are happy. And that's when all these things come that are matching your vibrational level. So, if your intentions and desires haven't produced consistent results, you've probably been sending an incoherent, mixed message into the field. You may want wealth, you may think wealthy thoughts, but if you feel poor, you aren't going to attract financial abundance to yourself. Why not? Because thoughts are the language of the brain and feelings are the language of the body. I'll read it again. Thoughts are the language of the brain and the feelings are the language of the body. You're thinking one way and feeling another way. And when the mind is in opposition to the body or vice versa, the field won't respond in any consistent way. They've done researches about it. He says what research is, how they've proven it, what they've done, in what way. So many stories, so many incredible manifestations, even his own daughter's story. It's really, really worth reading about. Instead, when mind and body are working together, when our thoughts and feelings are aligned, when we are in a new state of being, then we are sending a coherent signal on the airwaves of the invisible. Are you enjoying this as much as I am? Yeah. So, isn't it ironic that to influence your reality environment, heal your body, or change some event in your future time, you have to completely let go of your external world, no thing. You have to release your awareness of your body, no body, which is connected to meditation. You have to lose track of time, no time. In effect, you have to become pure consciousness. That's what meditation does. I know I'm skipping it a bit, but that is the way to manifest anything in your life, basically, that you want. Do that and you have dominion over environment, your body and time. I affectionately call these the big three. And since the subatomic world of the field is made purely of consciousness, you cannot enter any other way than via pure consciousness yourself. You cannot walk through the door into the quantum field as somebody. You must enter as a nobody. You read a bit more about this. Basically, lose your mind, lose yourself, and you'll find your mind and find yourself. A better version of yourself. Just, lose your mind. Your brain has the innate ability to harness this skill. When you understand that you're fully equipped to do all this, leave this world behind and enter a new reality beyond space and time, you will be naturally inspired to apply it in your life. Oh my God, wow. This I've put in red, the only red. These are all yellow because this is the gist of the book. And if anything you want to learn about what this book is about, this is it. In this book, you will learn how to get into the subconscious and reprogram it with a new set of strategies. In effect, you have to unlearn or unwire your old thinking and feeling patterns and then relearn or rewire your brain with new patterns of thinking and feeling based on who you want to be instead. When you condition the body with a new mind, the two can no longer work in opposition but must be in harmony. This is the point of change, of self-creation. Boom. Boom. So, the next bit, I only have 3 bits left. Don't worry if this is, he speaks about all of this in his interviews, so I'm not giving much away. I want you to enjoy this book, really, I really, really do, because it has so many things inside that is going to be beneficial to your life, that it's going to, even if you just read the knowledge that you'll have, it's amazing. But obviously with practice, you'll have wisdom, you'll have the experience, you can create a new self, a better version of yourself, the one that you want and enjoy being. So, it's kind of worth it, isn't it? Some maintain that positive thinking is the answer. This is what I've spoken a bit earlier. I want to be clear that by itself, positive thinking never works. Many so-called positive thinkers have felt negative most of their lives, and now they're trying to think positively. They are in a polarized state in which they are trying to think one way in order to override how they feel inside of them. They consciously think one way, but they are being in the opposite. When the mind and the body are in opposition, change will never happen. I want you to know this so much. You can't just think positive. It will never work. That's why so many people are like, oh, this doesn't work. Of course this doesn't work. They say think positive. Nothing, thinking positive has ever done good in my life. This is why. That's why, because just thinking positive, it's not going to do anything. And he explains how to change all of this. So it's not just knowledge. Again, you have in the end, step by step, how to do it. Amazing. I mean, so many people say the knowledge, so many people say, what we should know about, but so little explain the process of how to do it. Steps, really detailed steps. I mean, he has the whole chapter about it, how to do it, and so explaining so simple that you but you don't get confused. You're not sitting there with all these you actually really have a good explanation, and when you read all this knowledge before, it really helps you connect the dots and do the exercises in the end. I mean, I call them exercises, but they're basically meditation is like the star in all of it, which is, if anyone needed scientific proof to do meditation, here it is. Dr. Joe Dispenza. You are what you are where you are, and now you are who you are because of what you believe about yourself. And I'll read that again. You are what you are where you are, and you are who you are because of what belief about yourself. Your beliefs are the thoughts you keep consciously or unconsciously accepting as the law in your life. Whether you are aware of them or not, they still affect your reality. And that's my belief about beliefs, that what you believe creates your reality. Your beliefs create your reality. What you believe to be true is what's going to manifest. It's going to be your reality. But you can't just say, okay, I believe differently now. Again, you have to feel it in the body, have it in your mind, be coherent everywhere to really have that belief to change your reality. So beliefs create your reality, and everything that you may be complaining about at the moment, you can change. You really can change. Decide, do the work, and change. Simple. Not easy, but simple. So, what I like this, he says, my definition of mastery is that our internal chemical state is greater than anything in our external world. You are a master when you have conditioned yourself with chosen thoughts and feelings. You've memorized desired emotional chemical states, and nothing in your external life deters you from your aims. No person, no thing, and no experience at any time or place should disrupt your internal chemical coherence. You can think, act, and feel differently whenever you choose. So let's say you know how to drive a car. If something happens to you in terms of, I don't know, you get into a fight with your partner, or I don't know, your mother, or now the rain starts falling, or you're not going to forget how to turn on the car and start driving it. You have that. You've mastered driving so much throughout the years, decades that you've been driving your car. You don't even have to think about it. You can just do it. You can turn the car on, you can shift the gears, or automatically just start driving, turn left, right, backwards, whatever you need to do. Anything that happens No person can say something, let's say, to you that you're gonna forget how to drive a car. So that's, just a little bit of a metaphor, but that's how I see it. So anything that you've mastered, and this includes emotions as well, and how you feel, if you feel negatively, no person, no event, no nothing can then change you just like that into being the happiest person in the world. You've conditioned yourself to do that. Vice versa, if you're happy all the time, not one, some inconvenience, let's say, it's not gonna help change you just like that to be now the most negative person in the world. So that's what's really important. When you master this, you can have ups and downs and stuff, but you'll be more here as opposed to down here, and then maybe sometimes you smile, but then you still go back. See what I mean? You still go back. Whereas if you were here, maybe you go down, but then you still go up. Do you understand what I'm saying? I really hope you do. If you don't, again, read the book. So if you can master suffering, you can just as easily master joy. Now he uses easily. I would more use the term maybe simple, because some people say, well, it's not easy. It can't be easy in a way that if you've conditioned your body for so long, it's going to take some time. Let's say you're 100% angry of the time, or 95% angry of the time. If you start doing methods, if you start working on yourself, if you start doing what people have shown that works, then you'll be maybe 90-10, 80-20, 80% of the time angry, sad, depressed, 20% happy, then 50-50. Then it's going to turn and change the other way around, and then maybe it'll be 95% happy, and then maybe 5% just maybe sometimes sad, angry, something upsets you, but you're going to have 95% of happiness. So in a way it's not easy, because for most of people, because it takes time, it takes speaking to yourself, it takes being in silence, it takes learning something that's new to you. And learning new skills aren't always as easy. It takes time, it takes practice, but again, it's not that it's not worth it. And I always say it like this: maybe it's not easy, but it's simple. How? So you have the methods explained to you. You have, I love today's internet, that you can go through so many different places, find what works for you. Whether it's even resting, if you need to rest, if you're tired and resting is going to help you raise your vibration, do it. So if you want to be a lawyer, in Serbia at least, simple, 4 years of law school, do all the exams, 2 years of practice, and then you have the final exam, which is like all the lawyers say the worst thing in Serbia. Not in Serbia, but generally it's the most difficult. Not worst, but the most difficult. And let's say you put another year on top of that. So that's 7 years. You do that, you're a lawyer. Simple. I've just explained this like in under a minute. Easy? No. So some of the things are simple. So I would more use that word, simple, not maybe easy. But for some people it is easy, but for most of the people it's not. So if it's not easy to you, don't discourage yourself. It's all right not to be easy. You probably know someone who has mastered suffering, right? So you call her and ask, how are you? So. Listen, I'm going to go out with some friends to a new art gallery and then eat at this restaurant that has really healthy desserts. Afterward, we're going to listen to some live music. Would you like to come with us? No, I don't feel like it. But if she said what she actually meant, she'd say, I've memorized this emotional state, and nothing in my environment, no person, no experience, no condition, no thing is going to move me from my internal chemical state of suffering. It feels better to be in pain than to let go and be happy. I'm enjoying my addiction for now, and all these things that you want to do might distract me from my emotional dependency. Isn't that wow? So every time you hear someone that, like this, basically this is what they're saying. It's like drug addicts. they go down so much and they know it's bad for them, but they're still addicted to it. This is the addiction to the emotions, the emotional state, the chemicals that run through your body is just another addiction. But guess what? We can just as easily master an internal chemical state such as joy or compassion. Can you imagine being addicted to be happy? How amazing! I'm addicted to feel happy. I'm addicted to, experience joy. I'm addicted to experience amazing things. I'm addicted to that as opposed to this, which is, you can learn this, you can be that. That's the main thing. You can be that person. So he has, obviously, like I said, stages of meditation at the end. He has sort of like guided meditation. I'll just, say it in that words. And you can download it from his website, but it costs, I think it's $20. But you have the text at the end of this book. For 4 stages, you have two different types. Choose one, you'll see which one works for you better, and you can then record yourself or someone else's voice if you would like to, and then put earphones in your ear and listen to that. So if you don't want to download, or it's maybe too expensive for you, or because I understand that, you can just record yourself. And because I like my voice when I speak English language, I don't know why, I don't really prefer it much in Serbian, but anyway, if you want to record it yourself, you can. I think every phone has now the app that you can record your own voice. So, or if you have a cassette, people, you can't really record your voice unless you have the microphone. Anyway, people who are a bit older will know what cassettes are. Most of the people. So yeah, this is what the book is about. I know I've talked about it maybe for too long, but I've given you so many great insights in this book. I've given you so many amazing bits that you're going to read about. Trust me, like I said, this is just tip of the 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 iceberg. There's so many more amazing things, more amazing stories, more amazing researches in here. So, Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself by Dr. Joe Dispenza is my book of the month, and I really, really highly recommend to read this book. So yeah, that's it from me today. So if you want to go and buy this book, I'll put some links down below. Obviously his website is the best if you're in America. I'll link the Amazon where I got it in the UK on Amazon. And yeah, that's it for today. So I really hope when you read this book, if you read this book, if you wanna order this book, just let me know in the comments down below, or maybe you can even suggest some books for me to read or review for you on this channel. And there you go. I hope you start working on yourself, or that you're trying to work on yourself, or that you made a decision that you're going to work on yourself to break the habit of being your old self and create the new self. Love you, and see you next time. Bye.